The 3:30 p.m. meeting of the Bakersfield City Council is now in session.
Good afternoon. It's my pleasure to call to order the 3:30 regular City Council meeting of May 4th, 2022. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Mayor Go,
Here.
Vice Mayor Weir, Councilmember Arias,
Here.
Councilmember Gonzalez,
Here.
Councilmember Smith,
I am here.
Councilmember Freeman, Councilmember Gray,
Here.
Councilmember Parlier.
Thank you. In keeping with Council's resolution, the public statements portion is now divided into two periods. There's a period for items listed on the meeting agenda and items not listed on the meeting agenda. Statements for items listed on this afternoon's agenda are given a 2-minute time limit, 20 minutes total per agenda item. Statements regarding items not listed on the agenda are also given a 2-minute time limit, 20 minutes total. If you have written comments that are longer than your verbal statement, give them to the clerk and she'll give copies to the council. If you're here to make a public statement, please fill out a public speaker card and give your completed card to the city clerk. We ask that you mark whether you're here to speak on an item listed on this afternoon's agenda or on a matter not on the agenda. Speakers who do not identify a specific item will be presumed speakers for the non-agenda portion. Those speakers will be called during the non-agenda portion of the meeting. Madam Clerk, do we have any public speakers regarding items listed on this afternoon's agenda?
Mayor Go, we have not received any speaker cards regarding items listed on tonight's agenda.
Thank you. Do we have any public speakers regarding items not listed on the agenda?
Mayor Go, we have one public speaker, Karen Shaw.
Well, good afternoon, Ms. Shaw.
Good afternoon, Honorable Mayor
Welcome.
and council members. I'm a little nervous. I have some notes.
Take your
And,
time. I mess up all the time, so it's not a problem.
My name, as you know, is Karen Shaw. I'm a resident of Mill Creek Senior Complex. However, I'm here to make you aware of the issues I'm facing with the reservation at Plans Park. The reservation was made on February 2nd. I was charged $240 to rent Area A. I decided upon that location because of the central location and the number of amenities that were listed on the handout that I was given by Parks and Recreation. I've since gone by the park. I've made calls to Parks and Recs. I've spoken with the people on site that should be taking care of the facility. So there's my concern for cleanliness and safety at Plans Park. This morning, I went into the ladies' room, and as I found months ago, the women's sink wash basin is full of leaves and trash. There's no running water, no way to be clean with the COVID and all that we have going on at Plans Park. I'd like to see that addressed, please, by May 21st, our date, the event of our date. The amenity indicated that there was a playground for children. That's since under construction. We won't have a playground for our children. I'm planning a picnic. I've incurred an expense of now renting a bouncer from the only company that you allow to bring a bouncer into the park. So that is a concern. The water fountains that are on the property are all sitting with running water if they work at all. So again, if that can be addressed. And with the recent criminal activity and occurrences that have occurred in Plans Park, my guests are somewhat fearful. I would hope that we can feel a little more safe on May 21st, and I would hope that the Department of Parks and Recs will not be allowed to continue to embarrass us as a city, particularly when we have guests here on that date. I would ask that they aggressively clean up Plans Park as they did to Martin Luther King Park on Easter Sunday with the homeless that are located there. I plan to come back after the May 21st event to give you feedback on how well that went. Thank you.
Ms. Shaw. Councilmember Arias.
Ms. Shaw, thank you so much for coming tonight. Plans Park is in Ward 1 in my area, and I would actually like staff to reach out to Ms. Shaw if we have her contact information or if she could provide that information to staff. so that we can make sure we can make arrangements in advance of her picnic. But then to also inquire about what it is that she would like to see in the park, as we are getting ready to make some investments in hardening that park. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Arias. Madam Clerk, next item, please.
Reports item 3A, 2022 Regional Transportation Plan presentation by Kern Council of Governments.
Thank you. Mr. Clegg.
Mayor and Council, we're happy to have this presentation this afternoon. It's something that is valuable to do on a regular basis, and Rob Ball from our Council of Governments is here to share that with you.
Welcome, Mr. Ball.
Thank you, Mayor and Council members. I have packets that each of you have available, and it's on the Regional Transportation Plan update. It's a summary of some of the key information, including a table listing the projects over the next 24 years that we hope to see built through this plan in metropolitan Bakersfield. And the document itself is available on KernCog's website, both these summary handouts and the full 400-page regional transportation plan and appendices, the associated environmental document, as well as the associated federal air quality conformity document, and other related documents to the regional transportation plan. In your packet, you'll see that there is a summary of benefits for the plan, some required maps of planning assumptions, long-range transportation plan planning assumptions, some information on what our estimates for transportation revenue is going to be over the 24-year period. And as you know, with the high price of fuel right now, about a quarter of that is going into transportation revenue for maintaining and building new transportation infrastructure within our region. But the most important thing is this list of the related transportation projects. And you'll see that there are a lot of bike and pedestrian projects, as well as some major road infrastructure related to that. Also let you know that we've just completed a 4-year public outreach process on the update to this plan, and we've garnered input from over 7,000 participants within the Kern region. And some of those people provided us maps, and at the last page are some maps of projects that were suggested by the citizens of Bakersfield and Kern County that they would like to see related to maintenance, as well as capacity increasing projects and transit related projects. And so that concludes my presentation. The comment period closes June 16th. So you have over a month to provide comments on this, and be happy to answer any questions, and thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Ball. Colleagues, do we have any questions or comments? Everyone is engaged in reading every last word that you've written. Councilmember Smith.
I'll just say I appreciate KernCog and Rob Ball, and great work. We love a 700% increase in active transportation. We hope we get there.
Thank you, Councilmember Smith. Councilmember Arias.
There we go. Also want to thank you for coming and providing this report to us, and just say that I am grateful to see that MLK Boulevard is highlighted as one of those target areas. We know that there's going to be a tremendous amount of transportation heading down that corridor with the investment of actually 3 new schools, 2 from Greenfield and a new school from Kern High School District. So we're excited and looking forward to working with KernCog and Mr. Hakimi on figuring out how we can improve that corridor. So thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Arias. Don't see any other questions. You've answered everything. Thank you very much, Mr. Ball. City Manager Clegg, any closing comments?
I would just reflect again the value of the city participating closely with KernCog in long-range planning. One of the purposes of having a regional council of governments is to engage in that very long-range planning, thinking far ahead. Kern COG have been great partners in helping us to envision what are the patterns that we need to see in our community. If you look at the TRIP program, Kern COG has been really instrumental in the TRIP program, for the past 2 decades in really creating the type of infrastructure that we need over a long period of time to move people and goods through our community. Similarly, the comment by the current chair of Kern COG about active transportation, again, seeing into the future of where are there needs and opportunities to really address mobility comprehensively throughout our community and region in the long run. And the city, of course, has a role in that. But we actually are very grateful to have a lead and a partner in Kern COG thinking of that at the regional level. And then lastly, just the amount of funding that comes through Kern COG, and that they advocate and fight to make sure that Kern is getting our fair share of infrastructure dollars related to mobility and planning dollars as well, that we have been able to do a majority of our active transportation through grants that come through Kern COG. And so, again, there's a lot of value in each playing our important roles, but having that regional player help us guide towards a good future and have that long-term perspective.
Thank you, Mr. Clegg. Councilmember Gonzalez.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Kern COG, and Mr. Ball for all your hard work and your partnership. I'll make a motion to receive and file.
You have a motion. Please cast your votes.
Motion is
Well,
approved.
thank you. And is there anything else, Madam City Clerk?
That was our last item on today's agenda, Mayor.
Thank you. And with that, we stand adjourned at 3:43.